You're watching TVS News at 5 p.m. It's Sunday, April 17. You're now with me, Zaga Salit, and let's begin with our top story. Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dr. Sim Kui Hian, said the state is bracing for an increase in COVID-19 cases following the upcoming Hari Raya and Gawai Dayak celebrations in May and June. Thus, he urged the public to remain vigilant and continue to adhere strictly to the standard operating procedures during festive season.
The Public Health, Housing and Local Government Minister said that the battle against COVID-19 is far from over and that even though the COVID-19 Omicron variant is considered mild, it remains highly transmissible. Due to this, individuals are still required to wear face masks, especially in indoor settings and in crowded areas. Nonetheless, Dr. Sim, who is also the State Disaster Management Committee SDMC advisor, assures that Sarawak would not impose strict SOPs for the upcoming Hari Raya and Gawai celebrations, stressing that Sarawak will learn to live with the virus.
Parti Pusaka Bumiputra Bersatu PBB Vice President Dr. Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah is of the opinion that regardless of whoever forms the next government, after the 15th general election, the post of Deputy Prime Minister should be given to either Sarawak or Sabah, as the two states have both contributed immensely to the country.
Dan jawatan-jawatan tersebut bagi saya, kalau tidak Perdana Menteri adalah timbalan Perdana Menteri. Tidak salah untuk Sabah dan Sarawak diberi jawatan-jawatan seperti itu, dua timbalan Perdana Menteri ataupun satu timbalan Perdana Menteri untuk digilir-gilirkan.
Earlier, the Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts was met by reporters at a press conference after the Kasih Belia Ramadan program on Sunday.
An 18-year-old female student from a local institution of higher learning in Muka was scammed of 2,222 ringgit. She was tricked via a part-time job scheme operating online as a clerk to process online purchases via shopping website Zalora with the promise of 15% commission per transaction on the site.
According to Muka Police Chief Deputy Superintendent Muhammad Rizal Alias, the victim was in touch with the scammer via WhatsApp for registration and to await for further instruction.
Bagi mendapatkan komisen tersebut, mangsa telah diarah untuk membuat bayaran pendahuluan dan dijanjikan pulangan komisen beserta modal yang telah dikeluarkan. Mangsa yang tertarik telah membuat transaksi pemindahan wang sebanyak 2 kali ke dalam akaun yang diberikan suspek dengan jumlah keseluruhan sebanyak RM2,222 pada 15 April 2022. Mangsa akhirnya mula menyedari telah ditipu apabila sering diminta untuk membuat pembayaran lain dan tidak menerima komisen seperti yang telah dijanjikan.
Rizal advised the public to be cautious of any attempts to scam through different channels, especially via Facebook, Instagram, Telegram, and more. The case is being investigated under Section 420 of the Penal Code.
Ramadan bazaars ring a bell for delicacies and dishes to break one's fast. As visitors throng the metro city's Ramadan bazaar, one original tale of Nasi Arab from Yemen has caught our attention. Here's more about it.
This year was the 5th year of his migration to Malaysia. Abdullah Mohammed now has expanded his business to Sarawak. The Saudi Arabian chef, who has placed his heart and soul into the Middle Eastern cuisine, finds it amusing that the dish has captured the heart and taste of Sarawakians.
No, the recipe is original from Yemen. So this is actually from the old Yemenis. They make it. I learned this one from Saudi Arabia. This is Yemeni chef there. He teach me how to make this one.
According to Abdullah, the process to prepare this cuisine, which is deemed the menu of the heavens, only takes about 2 hours to complete. On the other hand, the process to marinate the beef and chicken takes about 24 hours.
This is equal I make for how many? But let's say like for 100 people, this will take around 2 hours. Just 2 hours, yeah.
Meanwhile, For the 34-year-old chef, the dish he prepares is guaranteed to fill the appetite of Sarawakians, apart from offering an affordable price for all.
Okay, the price in Kuching, like we sell in fair price. We are not expensive and we're not cheap price because the ingredient actually now like harga semua naik. That's why like we find our price, but it's still fair.
Airline operators are reminded not to make excessive profits by raising ticket prices to Sarawak and Sabah during the festive season. Prime Minister Dato Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the recent sky-high flight ticket prices was extreme as the people had no alternative other than to fly.
According to Sabri, the Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs MDTCA Minister Datuk Sri Alexander Nantalingi had been asked to investigate any elements of violation under the Price Control and Anti-Profiteering Act 2011 in the ticket price increase. The issue of the costly flight ticket to Sarawak and Sabah became a trending topic this week, as the price displayed on the airline's website was said to have increased up to 2,000 ringgit for return flights, which is an increase of 566% compared to the usual price of 300 ringgit for the same trip.
Following that, Transport Minister Dato Sri Dr. Wee Ka Siong said the government is doing its level best to ensure that the flight ticket between West Malaysia and East Malaysia would be reduced in time for the festive season, adding that the people's interest would always be the priority for the government.
Kedua, apa yang kita lakukan, kita minta syarikat penerbangan nak tak nak, mereka kena buat kerana ini adalah aspirasi kerajaan untuk turunkan kedatangan. Sabah Sarawak dan Semenanjung, mod pengangkutan yang ada cuma satu saja, iaitu melalui penerbangan. Itu adalah hasrat kerajaan untuk kita pastikan ianya diturunkan. Dengan apa cara sekalipun, ianya perlu diturunkan. Yang amat berhormat Perdana Menteri sentiasa prihatin dan mengarahkan saya supaya cari kaedah yang praktikal, apa cara sekalipun kita bantu rakyat. Jadi saya rasa terpanggil.
His ministry has also taken into consideration the inputs of both the Premier of Sarawak and the Chief Minister of Sabah in relation to this matter. The Ministry of Transport had also held a meeting with the relevant industry players, including the Malaysian Aviation Commission MAVCOM, Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia CAAM, as well as airline operators Malaysia Airlines, AirAsia and Malindo Airways on Thursday.
Ramadan bombings in Thailand's southern part, where many Muslims reside, will not deter peace talks with the rebels, following two explosions that erupted on Friday, which killed one innocent bystander and injured 3 police officers. Thailand authorities have identified the attacker, a group known as G5 from the Patani United Liberation Organization, or PULO, who decided to claim responsibility for the attacks.
Since the attack, PULO has been excluded from the talks between Bangkok and the Barisan Revolusi Nasional, or BRN, which agreed to stop any attacks or violence during Ramadan until 14th May. Government negotiators did not take the violence lightly and reached out to BRN so that these attacks can be stopped before ruining the ongoing peace talks. However, BRN has declined to respond. Peace talks seeks a political solution to the decades-long conflict under the framework of the Thai constitution, which has been initiated since the beginning of 2013. On Saturday, PULO's president Kasturi said these talks are not inclusive and is going too fast. More than 7,300 people have been killed since the conflict erupted between the government and shadowy groups seeking independence for the Malay Muslim provinces of Narathiwat, Yala, Patani, and parts of Songkhla.
Russian President Vladimir Putin announced that it will be redirecting its energy exports eastwards as European countries shun the country's gas. He said EU countries' talks of cutting off energy supplies from Russia has only spiked the prices of fossil fuels and destabilized the market.
Несмотря на эти очевидные для всех вещи, европейские страны постоянно ведут разговоры об отказе от российских поставок, чем дополнительно дестабилизируют рынок и сами своими руками взвинчивают цены. Более того, они готовы забыть о своей так называемой зеленой повестке и снова сделать ставку на энергетику с так называемым высоким углеродным следом, который еще совсем недавно хотели полностью прикрыть. Называли ее архаичной и грязной. Многие политические силы выстраивали свои избирательные кампании на экологических лозунгах. Где это все теперь? Все выброшено просто на помойку. Действуют на практике совсем иначе. Изначально серьезные специалисты и аналитики предупреждали, причем публично говорили, что ускоренный зеленый переход на практике невозможно будет осуществить без больших издержек. Так все и оказалось на деле. А теперь появился замечательный повод прикрыть свои собственные просчеты и свалить все, в данном случае на Россию. Причем просчеты и некомпетентность не только в энергетике, но и во многих.
To this, Putin said Russia will embark on building infrastructure for eastward oil and gas exports as the country needs to diversify its energy supplies away from Europe.
Необходимо диверсифицировать экспорт. Будем исходить из того, что в обозримой перспективе поставки энергоресурсов в западном направлении все-таки будут сокращаться. Поэтому важно закрепить тенденцию последних лет, шаг за шагом переориентировать наш экспорт на быстро растущие рынки Юга и Востока. Для этого уже в ближайшее время нужно определить ключевые объекты инфраструктуры и приступить к их строительству.
Putin also mulled over the idea that Russian energy exports should also be rerouted to Africa and Latin America amid a push to diversify supplies from the West. Construction of new oil and gas pipelines should be considered from hydrocarbon fields in West and East Siberia. This, he said, is proposed to meet the fuel demands of domestic consumers, including car owners, transport companies, and agriculture.
And that's the quarter-hour update on News at 5. And on behalf of TVS, I'd like to wish our viewers a happy Easter. My name is Douglas Elliott. Thank you for watching.